Welcome to today's own. You are all welcome. Alright, so you are all welcome to today's edition. We are looking at the Forex chart once again, and you are all welcome. What we do here is all about Forex trading, so you are all welcome. If you are here and you have a pair that you want us to analyze, you drop it in the chat box. I'll look at it and then we analyze those pairs. So you are all welcome. So let's start. So the first pair I'm looking at here is the euro against the dollar. So we have been using this euro against dollar for some time. We've set up some trade plans, so I'm just looking at those trade plans now. So this the chart of euro against the dollar, 4-hour chart. I drew this the last time we met, that this pair will move and come to this downside here, and then we will be buying it now. But let's look at it from the entry perspective to see what we have there. So euro against the dollar. So this is it. So euro against dollar, I want this currency to be below the moving average. So I want it to be below the moving average. So when it's below the moving average, then I'm able to pull my trigger. But currently what I can see, if you want to sell it short term, so maybe you are a short term bear, so you want to do something like lower high, lower low, maybe lower high, lower low, lower high. So the one I will want to pick will be after it is broken, after this line is broken. So somewhere here, is what I'll be interested in. So if I'm to sell this thing to our entry for the buy, this is how I will look at it. Okay, so our entry for the buy is actually somewhere here. So this is how I will look at it, that when the pair hits here, then we move to the upside. That's for euro USD. So like this, then sometimes go a little deeper, then like this, then like this, then we could go a little up. But right now, it's, if you want to pick the buy, that's what I said, you can, sorry, if you want to pick the sell, you want it to move below the moving average, and then you can pick a sell. So now let's move back to other currency pairs. So let's look at pound dollar. So last week I drew this for pound dollar. So let's look at it. So now we want it to move and come to this side. And what can happen is it can move and cross all these sides to the downside. Okay, so you mark, I'm going to mark where the price is currently, because I can see a rejection there. It's important to me. Yeah, so the rejection happening here is important to me because when I look at 1 hour, it looks like it's now doing lower low, lower high, support broken, become resistance. Okay, so I'll be expecting some form of sales here, but then I want to measure regression. So this shows that the currency is 2 standard deviation below the mean. So I'm going to trade this down. So let's go to 15 minutes. So on our 15 minutes, this is what's happening. I know you always have an entry strategy. So let's use the entry strategy. Okay, so with our entry strategy, things are getting set, but I want this pair to move below, so at least break where it is now. And then reverse back to that same place. These are long-term strategy plan, so I'm keeping this long-term plan there. So you can see something like this. Yes, sir. When it reaches there, then I will pull the trigger to the downside. So I'm waiting for it somewhere here for me to be able to pull the trigger to the downside. Okay, that's for GBP USD. We are looking at a different currency. Now before that, I'm going to look at my fundamental spreadsheet. So this is my fundamental spreadsheet. On this spreadsheet, we have different currencies, and what I think about them fundamentally. So on this spreadsheet, the weakest pair, or the pair that is fundamentally good for a sell, we have Euro USD, we have Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, so we're going to look at the Euro USD, and then we will look at the Euro New Zealand dollar, and then I will look at this pair here, which is British Pound AUD. It's a very strong sell. And then I'll look at USD CAD. It's a strong buy. And then USD JPY. So I'm going to take it one by one. So first of all, let's look at it from the highest. We have -6. So British Pound AUD. So I'm going to British Pound AUD. So I'm expecting a sell on British Pound AUD. But as at now, it's still set for a buy. I can't see my sell. So technically, I can't see my sell trade here. So it's doing like it wants to buy again. So what I will do is I'm going to the smaller time frame to see what is happening at this spot here, this small spot here. Let's look at 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, this is a higher high, but it's not broken. So I can see something like this. Sorry. I can see higher high, higher low, higher high, no higher low, but this low too is not broken. So like this, then lower high. So I want a lower low. So I want something like this, then a retest, then we start selling it, because fundamentally it's supposed to sell. So I'm waiting for a sell, and then I'll pick the trade to the downside. But let's look at it from our entry point of view and see whether it have met all our moving average strategies. So with the GBP AUD, you can see that on the 15 minutes time frame, even though the 2155 has crossed down, it's still below the equilibrium, or it's still above the equilibrium, or it's still above the trend. So I want this pair to go below the trend, which is this line. So this is what I'll draw what I want. So I want like this, come a little below, move up to touch the 21 moving average, and then we start selling from that point, because fundamentally it's set to sell. So we're looking at another pair. Oh, we are back to the spreadsheet. So let's look at one other buy trade. Now there is a mistake here. It would be 4, but even that is also correct. So I'm either looking at the USD card or USD JPY. So for a buy, USD JPY for a buy. So I'm going back. Yeah, so these are previous analysis on USD JPY. Fundamentally, it's supposed to buy and it is doing it very well. It's doing it very well. So what we have to do is what? We wait for a pullback, but this particular pullback, so this is a previous trade plan. All those who took that trade, well done. But I want to show an area of importance here. So we have plan A, and plan B. I'm interested in plan A. So it means that as you see something like this, then I pull my trigger. So this is what I'll be expecting, because when I expect it like this, then it's in line with what my fundamental analysis. So you can be short-term bear and long-term bull. So let's look at the short-term bear. If you want to sell this pair, how are you going to sell it? So let's look at that. Okay, so if you want to sell this pair, which is actually a risky trade to pick, you're going to wait for what? A lower high, a lower low, sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. By that time, the 2155 would have crossed to the downside, then a pull back to it, then you move down until you hit here, and then the move starts to go to the upside. So that's the short-term bear. That's what I refer to as you being a short-term bear and then a long-term bull. If you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. If you have any pair you want us to analyze, you drop that in the chat box. If you are looking for a broker to register with, the broker links are in the description. If you want an advanced trading training, there is a link in the description. You click on the link, WhatsApp or message. There will be someone to help you as to grow in this trading. If you want our fundamental spreadsheet, you want to be receiving weekly analysis on the spreadsheet, you click on the links in the description. someone is there to help you with that. So let's look at our last pair that I want to look at, and then we call it a day. So my third pair is USD card for a buy. So I'm going to look at USD card